Good morning, students. So, we are in Fabric Manufacture 1 lab practice. I am Shekhar Gaddam from Sirsilla Government Polytechnic College, Rajanna Sirsilla district. My name is Shekhar. I am from SRRS GPT, Sri Rajarajeshwara Swami Government Polytechnic College. So, today we will learn about automatic pun winding mechanism. Automatic pun winding mechanism. So, what is the aim of the experiment? To dismantle and assemble the automatic pun winding machine. To know the parts of the mechanism. To learn construction and working of the mechanism. To dismantle and assemble the automatic pun winding mechanism. So, by dismantling and assembling, we will learn about the parts of the automatic pun winding mechanism and also the construction and working of the parts of the mechanism. That means the functional things that they do in the mechanism, the functions of the mechanisms, the functions of the parts of the mechanisms. What are the various parts and how do they function? How do they constructed? How are they constructed? And how the working is completed. So this is about automatic pun winding machines aim of the experiment. So in this we will learn all these things. Automatic pun winding machine. Principle of the experiment. A pern or quill is a weft bobbin that is placed inside a shuttle in shuttle weaving. As the shuttle travels back and forth across the width of the shuttle loom, the weft yarn is unwound from the pern through the eye for ordinary shuttle or slot for automatic shuttle of the shuttle and lay in the shed. So here we are learning about automatic pun winding machine. So before learning that, what is a pern? A pern or quill. So pern is also known as quill. That is a weft bobbin. So it is a weft bobbin. Ring bobbins are generally spinning bobbins or warping bobbins. Generally they think like that, but it is a weft bobbin that is placed inside a shuttle. So the pern or quill is placed inside a shuttle in shuttle weaving. As the shuttle travels back and forth across the width of the shuttle loom, the weft yarn is unwound from the pern through the eye. So as the shuttle travels back and forth from one side of the loom to the other side of the loom across the width of the shuttle loom, the weft yarn is unwound from the pern through the eye. It is unwound from the pern through the eye of the for ordinary shuttle, or it can be called as a slot for automatic shuttle, and the pick is laid in the shed. So this is the principle of the experiment. A pern is a weft bobbin that is placed inside a shuttle. So pern is placed inside a shuttle in shuttle weaving. Pern, as a matter of fact, pern is eliminated in shuttleless weavings. So pern is present in only shuttle weaving. In the case of shuttle weaving, only perns exist. So automatic pun winding machine exists if there are shuttles in the power loom. If it is a shuttleless loom, then there is rapier or air jet or projectile or water jet or multi-phase loom, circular looms. Those will take care of the pick insertion. There the pern is not needed. So what are the shuttleless looms? Shuttleless looms are those looms where there is no shuttle. Suppose that there is no shuttle, then there is no pern at all. So pern winding is eliminated in case of shuttleless weaving. So what are the shuttleless looms? Rapier looms, projectile looms, air jet looms, and water jet looms. So pern winding, why I am saying is, this is a pern is a weft bobbin that is placed inside a shuttle in shuttle weaving. So that's why I told you about shuttleless weaving where there is no need of pern and pern winding is almost eliminated. So as the shuttle travels back and forth across the width of the shuttle loom, the weft yarn is unwound from the pern through the eye for ordinary shuttle or slot for automatic shuttle of the shuttle and lay in the shed. So as the shuttle travels back and forth, that means shuttle is propelled from one end of the loom to the other end of the loom by the picking mechanism, over pick mechanism, under pick mechanisms that I have already told you. Continuation of the principle of the experiment. The yarn on the quill is tapered at one end such that the yarn withdrawal takes place continuously without entanglement. So the yarn on the pern is tapered at one end. Tapering means, please Google baseball bat. It is an American game, generally I think. Baseball, not basketball. Baseball bat is tapered. So you will know tapering by looking at that bat. So generally what is tapered? The reduction in diameter along the length of the pern, that is known as tapering. So the yarn on the quill or pern is tapered at one end such that the yarn withdrawal takes place continuously. Why is it tapered at one end? So that yarn withdrawal takes place continuously without entanglement. So that is the purpose of the principle of the experiment. So this is the automatic pern winding machine. So you can see the perns. There are 4 perns and you can see the perns, and there are empty perns on the other side. So you can see the tapering in the you can see the tapering at the 4 perns also. There is little bit of tapering, not much. So completely built pern we will have a tapering. So automatic pern winding machine will, the schematic diagram of pern winding machine. So what is pern winding? Conversion of large package to small package is known as weft winding or pern winding. Conversion of small package, conversion of big package to small package such as Pern. So what is the big package? It is cone or cheese. So in the automatic pun winding machine, the cone or cheese, which is a big package, is converted into a compact pern, which is a small package, and this process mechanism is known as weft winding or pern winding. You can see the diagram, yarn package, and then through the it passes through the yarn guide, and then it passes through tension device, and then it passes through the warp yarn. The weft yarn passes through stop motion, and then through the yarn guide, and then to the pern. So here it is a pern is wound onto it, and there are different parts that are shown in the other picture which I want to tell you, but that picture is not here. So there is a full bobbin indicator. So when the pern is full, then it is automatically ejected from the place and a new bobbin is inserted into it, and this is automatic pern changing mechanism. This mechanism is known as automatic pern changing mechanism, not winding, pern changing mechanism. So you will see in the future slides, in the coming slides, the chase length and traverse guide. There will be a traverse guide, and there is a bunch length. So there is a bunching mechanism is there. So these are the terms that are frequently used in automatic pern winding mechanism. So full bobbin indicator, and so yarn guide. So by looking at this diagram, we can see that the weft from the cone or cheese is drawn through a yarn guide, and then proper tension is maintained by the tensioning device, and then it passes through stop motion. So that is stop motion. The purpose of stop motion is to stop the automatic pern winding machine in case of weft breakage or thread breakage or weft breakage or a weft exhaustion. So that is the purpose of the stop motion, and after that the yarn is drawn through the yarn guide, and then it is wound onto the pern. So the winding onto the pern is done by traverse guide. So the traverse guide moves to and fro in throughout the build of the package, and the traverse guide helps in winding the weft onto the pern. So this is the schematic diagram of the automatic pern winding machine construction. So here we will see winding of a quill is different from the regular winding process. In quilling, the yarn is transferred from a larger package to the smaller quill, which is shown in the figure. Also, the inspection of yarn is not part of the process. Therefore, there is no yarn clearing zone. So here it is the same thing is said here. Winding of a pern is different from the regular winding process. Regular winding process is conversion of ring bobbins to cones. That is the regular warp winding mechanism. So that is the regular winding mechanism where in the autoconer or link coner, the warp winding, please remember the words, that is known as warp winding. Pern winding is weft winding. So in the regular winding process, that means in the regular warp winding process, autoconer or link coner, in the machine autoconer or link coner, the ring bobbins are converted into big package. There, there the small package is converted into big package. Conversion of small package to big package is known as warp winding or auto corner or winding or link corner. But here in weft winding, the cone or cheese is converted into pern, a compact pern which is a smaller package. So the conversion of bigger package or larger package to a smaller packages is called as pern winding or weft winding. The traverse mechanism is also different because of the geometry of the different geometry of the quill. The traverse here does not go back and forth along the package. It only builds on one part of the package at a time, which is shown in the figure. So I will explain about this traverse mechanism. The traverse mechanism is different because of the different geometry of the quill or pern. The traverse here does not go back and forth along the package. It only builds yarn on one part of the package at a time, which is shown in the figure. So here figure is not given. So suppose the 16 centimeters is the length of the pern, and traverse happens for every 2 centimeters. So that's what it means. It only builds yarn on one part of the package at a time. So that means 2 centimeters the traverse will happen, and then next 2 centimeters, and then next 2 centimeters. Like that 16 centimeters of the pern is divided into 8 parts, and each small part of 2 centimeters, this is built by traverse guide. That's why it is known as traversing mechanism. Here I told only for example that 16 centimeters and 2 centimeters, that is only an example. So the traverse, therefore please understand this, that's why the traverse here does not go back and forth along the package. It does not go along the complete length of the package. It only builds yarn on one part of the package at a time. On one part of the package at a time. Therefore, quill building is somewhat similar to the building of bobbin on a ring spinning frame. This type of winding helps reduce ballooning effects, maintain uniform tension, and reduce the possibility of slough off. So, therefore, quill building or pern building is somewhat similar to the building of a bobbin on a ring spinning frame. This type of winding helps reduce ballooning effects. So this type of winding helps reducing ballooning effects, maintain uniform tension. So uniform tension is maintained, and ballooning effect means, suppose if a yarn is drawn from a cone, then it forms like a balloon. Suppose if it is drawn like this, and then it will be forming a balloon. So it will reduce the ballooning effect. So if you suddenly withdraw a yarn from a cone, then there is a formation of balloon, there is a chance of formation of a balloon, and this type of winding helps in reducing ballooning effects, and it reduces the possibility of slough off. Slough off means coming out of the 3 4, generally 3 to 4 or 10 yarns come out at a time from the package. So while withdrawing the yarn from the package, generally a single yarn is withdrawn, but in case of slough off, while withdrawing, not single yarn is withdrawn, but a group of yarns like 5 to 10 yarns are being withdrawn by mistake, by erratic method. That's why it is known as slough off. So this winding also helps in reducing the possibility of slough off. So therefore quill building is somewhat similar to the building of a bobbin on a ring spinning frame. In on a ring spinning frame also the traverse will be similar, so it is similar to ring spinning frame, and this type of winding helps. So this reduce, as I told you, it reduces ballooning effects and maintains uniform tension and reduces the possibility of slough off. The machines that are used to wind quill are called quillers or pun winding machines. These machines are automatic, which means that when the quill is filled, it is doffed and an empty pun is placed on the spindle automatically. With the elimination of the shuttle looms, the quill winding process is also disappearing. So this I have explained you earlier, the same points. The machines that are used to wind quill are called quillers or pun winding machines. So quillers or pun winding machines are same. These machines are automatic. What does it mean by automatic? Doffing and donning are automatic. What is doffing? When a full pun is taken out from the machine, and that is called as doffing, and when an empty pun is placed in the position for further winding, then it is called donning. So these machines are automatic, which means that when the quill is filled, so when the pun is filled, full bobbin indicator will indicate that the bobbin is full and it is doffed. I told you full bobbin indicator will be there, and full bobbin indicator will give a signal, electrical signal, and then it is doffed, and an empty pun is placed on the spindle automatically. After full bobbin is doffed, then an empty pun is placed on the spindle automatically. This is known as donning. With the elimination of the shuttle looms, the quill winding process is also disappearing. So I have told you this in the starting of the class, that shuttle looms the shuttle looms only contain puns or quills. Shuttleless looms do not have puns. So with the elimination of the shuttle looms, as it is not eliminated completely, but slowly the world is moving towards shuttleless looms. But in India, where the average textile industrialist cannot uh, pay for large shuttleless looms, still shuttle looms are running. So pun winding is still running, but where there are shuttle-less looms, then the automatic pun winding is eliminated. Pun winding is eliminated. Construction continued. Puns are the yarn packages used within the shuttle to supply the yarns for quick insertion during weaving. The dimension of the shuttle is restricted by the shed geometry and the strain imposed on the warp yarns during shedding operation. The dimension of the pun is governed by the dimension of the shuttle. Thus, the pun has to be a long and thin package. So, this is about how puns are built and what are the dimensions of the pun. Puns are the yarn packages used within the shuttle to supply the yarns for quick insertion during weaving. So, they are used within the shuttle to supply the yarns for quick insertion during weaving. This you know. The dimension of the shuttle is restricted by the shed geometry. The dimension of the shuttle, that means the length, breadth and height of the shuttle are restricted by the shed geometry and the strain imposed on the warp yarns during shedding operation. So the dimension of the pun is governed by the dimension of the shuttle. So basically the pun has to fit into the shuttle. So that's what it means. The dimension of the pun is governed by the dimension of the shuttle. That's what it means by the dimension. So the shuttle has to hold pun into it and it should help in quick insertion. That is the whole purpose. Thus the pun has to be a long and a thin package. Therefore the pun is a long one and it is a thin package. Working. In contrast to cone winding, where the supply packages are small and the delivery packages are big, the supply packages are bigger than the delivery package in pun winding. As the yarns are already been cleared from slubs and other objectionable falls, no yarn clearing operation is required in pun winding. In contrast to cone winding, so this is the same thing I have explained earlier also. In cone winding or auto coner or link coner, the supply packages, that means ring frame bobbins, they are small and end products are big. But in pun winding, the supply packages are bigger than the end product. The end product is pun in pun winding. As the yarns are already cleaned from slubs and other objectionable falls. So yarns are already cleaned from slubs and objectionable falls in cone winding of that certain type of yarn. No yarn clearing operation is required in pun winding. So there is no need of yarn clearing operation in pun winding. So in contrast to cone winding, please observe this one more time. In contrast to cone winding, where the supply packages, that means ring frame bobbins, are small and the delivery packages, that means end products, are big. So in cone winding, supply packages or ring frame bobbins are small and end products, that are cone or cheese, is big. Whereas in pun winding, The supply package is cone or cheese, and the end product or delivery package is pern, which is a smaller package. Notes: the winding principle of pern is different than that of cones and cheeses. The winding principle of pern is different than that of cones and cheeses. If a cross-wound package is made, then there will be a lot of tension variation during weaving. On the other hand, the parallel wound package will give them problem of instability. So in a cross wound package there will be tension variation, and in the parallel wound package there is a problem of instability. So so here automatic pern winding machine, I have given this diagram so that you will know about traverse and traversing guide and chase length. So here you can clearly observe, if you clearly observe that there are three perns. One is completely built pern, and the medium built pern, and the beginning of the pern. So if you see the first diagram, there the chase length is that much is the chase length. The chase length is the length that is shown by the two arrows. So that is the chase length. Chase length here means it is the traversing length. So the traversing length across the bobbin. So as I already told you that it is not completely built, the traverse does not take place from one end of the pern to the along the length of the pern. So it will happen in parts. So here you can observe this is the chase length. Chase length is the length of traversing guide. The traversing guide travels the length that is known as chase length. So in the right hand side diagram you can see the chase length in the graph. So it is distance along the pern axis and time. So it is drawn like that. So this is known as chase length. Note: the base of the empty pern is generally conical. The pern winding starts from the conical base and progressively proceeds toward the tip of the pern. The distance travelled in one stroke of traverse is known as chase length. One layer of coils are laid on the conical base during the forward and as well as during the return movement of the traverse mechanism. So dear students, clearly please note these points. There are two parts in a pern, empty pern. One is base of the pern and the other one is tip of the pern. It is from the tip of the pern that the weft is withdrawn for during pick insertion in weaving, but the pern winding is done starting from the base of the empty pern. So the base of the empty pern is generally conical. The base of the empty pern is generally conical. What does it mean by conical? It will be like cone, in the shape of the cone. The pern winding starts from the conical base. So the pern winding starts from the conical base and progressively proceeds towards the tip of the pern. So it starts from the conical base. So here you can observe in the bottommost pern, the chase here from the base of the pern, the yarn is built onto the pern. So the pern winding starts from the conical base and progressively proceeds towards the tip of the pern. So this is the tip of the pern. So you can observe that the other end is the tip of the pern, and this side end is known as the base of the pern. So the distance travelled in one stroke of traverse is known as chase length. So the distance travelled in one stroke of traverse is known as chase length. By the traversing guide, how will it travel? By the help of traversing guide. So this is a beautiful definition of chase length. The distance travelled in one stroke of traverse is known as chase length. One layer of coils are laid on the conical base during the forward and as well as during the return movement of the traverse mechanism. So traverse mechanism, during the forward movement and during the backward movement, the layers of coils of weft are laid onto the pern. So the distance travelled in one stroke of traverse is known as chase length. So this is the important point. So here you can see, as the yarn is wound, so the chase length is the traversing is carried forward and the complete pern is built on the topmost of the figure of the pern. So that is known as chase length. So chase length is related to traversing. Please remember that. Thus the conicity of the package is maintained, and thus the tip of the cone formed by the coils of yarn slowly proceeds towards the tip of the pern. The process can be visualized as if one plastic cup having cone shape is placed over another, and the process is continued to build a tall cylindrical column. So here he is giving an example of plastic cup. Thus the conicity of the package we are saying that the base of the pern is conical in shape, and here we are saying conicity of the package. So the conicity of the package is maintained, and thus the tip of the cone formed by the coils of yarn slowly proceeds toward the tip of the pern. The process can be visualized as if one plastic cup having cone shape is placed one over another, and the process is continued to build a tall cylindrical column. So You can see this like this because please understand this. The process can be visualized as if one plastic cup having cone shape is placed over another and the process is continued to build a tall cylindrical column. You might have seen this in tea shops that there are plastic cups. There are plastic cups and one plastic cup is placed over the other, and if you put like that 100 plastic cups, then it will form a tall cylindrical column. I hope now you understand the point. So that's how the coils of the yarn are placed over the so this is process can be visualized like this. That's what the book author says. Thus the conicity of the package is maintained, and thus the tip of the cone formed by the coils of yarn slowly proceeds towards the tip of the bun. The process can be visualized as if one plastic cup having cone shape is placed over another and the process is continued to build a tall cylindrical column. So this is about automatic pond winding machine. Now I will show you the video.
This is the working demo of automatic pond winding machine.
Those are thread guides. The springs are tensioning devices. Disc tensioners.
As you see,
Disc type
here is the basic model of automatic pond winding machine. This is for spindle unit. Before spindle unit in one gearbox. The machine also come in 8 spindle unit. You can run 2 different type of yarn for 2 different gearbox. The thread is winded on the pern at 5000 RPM. The yarn speed is up to 250 meter per minute. This demo is for polyester yarn. Machine also support winding of polyester, cotton, synthetic, silk, nylon, filament, terylene, man-made fiber, woolen yarn, acrylic, viscose, zari, etc. The tension can be adjusted as per requirement.
So these are the supply packages, bigger packages. From the bigger package it comes to the smaller package.
This is auto-stop mechanism. Machine stop automatically on the breakage of yarn. You can load minimum of 24 UTC type of pen in the magazine. That means minimum of 6 in each column. The quantity varies with types of pern. Now you will see how the pern is changing automatically.
This is called as doffing and donning. Doffing and donning. Full bobbin indicator.
The 4-filled pern drops down, and the tray carrying 4 new pern comes and load the empty pern. You can load new empty pern in the magazine as it gets empty. The machine also provide provision of reserved yarn for auto loom system, which is also called bunching system. All filled pern collects in the crates. By regulating this dial you can adjust the diameter of pern winded.
Fifteen centimeters to 25 centimeters pern length. These are empty perns. You can see the base of the pern and the tip of the pern. So this is a company in Ahmedabad marketing the automatic pern winding machine. So thank you students. So today we have learned about automatic pern winding mechanism, and in the next class we will see next topic.